with us a bit. And those of you that are just coming into the orientation, welcome. We're so glad you guys have joined us for a little portion of the evening. This is one of our largest courses that has ever we've ever had for a fall start, so we are awesome to have you all here this evening. We are excited, excuse me. All right. Amanda's going to tell us something, I think. Oh, we're awesome. There we go. Nice. All right. I think I'm ready for our next question is, are you more of a beach person, or are you more of a pool person? Do you like a big ocean, or do you prefer pools? Nice. Mercedes with the pool. Nice. Does anybody else? I like to be able to see the bottom. So sometimes I'm more of a pool type of person, or a shallow beach. All right, so we got a lot of pool votes for pools. One beach. Couple beaches. All right. What about this question, if y'all are willing to share? What's your favorite place you've ever been to, or what is somewhere that you're wanting to go? So a travel destination. I'll type it in the text here. Hey, Bill, welcome. All right. So Bill, we're just kind of doing a get to know you game. So the question is a travel destination. Where is somewhere that you want to go, or somewhere that you have been that you loved? Or maybe somewhere you didn't like, but hopefully not if it's a travel destination for you. Ooh, Paris, nice. We have a couple people who want to go to Paris. That's awesome. Very cool. Ireland. Yes, love it. Elizabeth, I have a friend who just moved to Jordan. So if you need someone to go visit, I have somebody. Yep. She was in Austin. I knew her in Michigan, and then she moved to Austin, and then she just moved to Jordan. So yeah. All right. We ready for our next question? What about awesome. All right, what about favorite type of ice cream or favorite topping to go on top of an ice cream? Oh, on top of ice cream. And I'll type it in the chat box. Ooh, nice. Banana. Hey, Miss Adeline, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? So we're just doing sort of a get to know you game. So if you are willing to share a favorite type of ice cream or a favorite type of topping, we'll talk about pizza topping in a little bit. If you don't give away all my stuff. But yes, if you don't mind, if you can type it in the text chat. Adeline, if you have a favorite type of ice cream. I know there's some Texans here, so I see some bluebells. Yes, vanilla ice cream, blue bunny. Get my vote in here. Has anyone had the Texas two-step that I think is has cookie dough and cookies and cream? It's so good. Pistachio and butter pecan, nice. Yes. Welcome, Melody. Miss Melody, we're just, if you're able to, we're typing a favorite type of ice cream or a type of ice cream topping, if you have one, into the chat feature. Hey, Miss Tamara. Welcome, welcome. Just to let you know, we're playing sort of a little get to know you game. So if you have a favorite ice cream or a favorite topping, um, if you don't mind putting that in the chat function, just so we can learn a little bit more about you guys. All right, and I'll try to think of our next question. What's, oh, horchata ice cream. Ooh, yum. And HEB has that. That's awesome. All right. Hey, Taylor. Welcome, welcome. All right, Taylor, so we're sort of doing a get to know you game. Hey, Miranda. So if you have a favorite type of ice cream, um, feel free to type it into, hey, Victor. Nice, 19. Hey, RSLEs, how are you? We are, so if you guys have a favorite type of ice cream or a topping, we are typing that in the little chat if you want to share that. We've had lots of yummy ones, and now I'm kind of hungry, so. Nice. Tamara, you and Amanda can hang out and get ice cream because she likes pistachio too. That's awesome. Now she's got a friend. All right. Okay, so this is sort of a fun question, hopefully. So the question is, and I sort of give Amanda a heads up. So if you were, do you have a question? Yeah. Or do you have a favorite ice cream you can put in the chat function, Araceli's? Ooh, Happy Tracks, nice. Cookies and cream, yeah. Hey, Miranda. All right, so our next question is going to be, if you were sending a pizza to one of your enemies, what type of topping would you put on the pizza? Hey, welcome. Hey, hey, Sunny. All right, so the question is, we're doing some get to know you games. So the question is, if you were sending a pizza to an enemy, it's a little bit dark, but to your enemy, what topping would you put on the pizza? Oh, Victor says pineapple. That's awesome. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we see anchovies as a theme. Hey, Miss Michaela, welcome. All right, so we're playing sort of a fun get to know you game. So if you were sending a pizza to an enemy of yours, what toppings would you add? So what things can you not stand on your pizza? The first time someone asked this question, the answer was pineapple and anchovies. So it was kind of funny. So both things you said. Oh, we have some not lovers of black olives. That's awesome. I think what mine is. Any other people that don't love things on pizza? Or maybe you're gonna send them a hot dogs. That would not be delicious on pizza. That's awesome. All right, so we just have a couple more minutes left. So what I'm going to ask y'all to do, if you are willing, is to put in the chat function what major you are planning to study when you're at Concordia. Hey, Alex, welcome. So if you don't mind putting your major, yep, in there, and then also if you're excited, kind of what you're most excited about, if you're willing to share that. So feel free to do one or the other. But yeah, if you can just let us know what major you're in, that way, if some of you, hey, Justin, welcome. If you guys are in the same majors, maybe you can kind of get connected with people. There's a couple business people and some psych. Yeah, lots of business people in here. So major, you can, and I'll type it in here if people come a little bit later. Type in. Hey, Julie, welcome. All right, so lots of psychologies, computer science. All right, so if you all, yep. Yay, Tamara's excited to finishing her degree. That's awesome. Or if you guys can find, if there's an emoji that kind of depicts how you're feeling about finishing your degree or headed back to school. That might be kind of fun too. Oh, cool. Victor and Home Zip owning his own automotive shop. So take note, everyone. If you need help with your cars, Victor's your guy. Very cool. Hey, Jose, welcome. All right, so if you guys, perfect. I know there's a couple people that just jumped on. So if you are coming for school this fall term, if you can just type in what major you're planning to study and then what you're most excited for, or if you find an emoji that depicts how you're feeling, feel free to send that as well too. And as counselors and support staff, we can send emojis too. Hey, Germany, it's Krista. All right, so if you guys can, I'm working on finding an emoji for how I feel about this upcoming semester. Alex, mine was very similar to yours, a little bit on the side. And just to give you guys all a heads up, so it's almost 6 o'clock, so we're probably gonna wait until, Victor, nice. Ooh, I like the emojis, this is fun. So we're gonna wait till 6:05 to start. But yeah, keep the emojis coming, please. And then let me think, maybe you have another fun question. We already did cats versus dogs. Trying to think. Amanda or Carly, do you have a fun one that could get us? Hey, Emerson, welcome. Oh, nice. All right, so Amanda said a favorite sports team. So if y'all have a favorite sports team, or what about like a favorite hobby? Hey, Bethany, welcome. So if y'all want to type your favorite sports team or like something you like to do, a favorite hobby. These might be fighting words here. Nice. Reading is a perfect hobby, especially as school starts because you may have to read some things. Hey, Julian, welcome. Justin is a Cubs fan. Welcome, Justin. We're so glad you're here. I'm a Cubs fan too. All right, so favorite sports team or hobby. All right, so for those of you that have just logged on, we are typing in the chat favorite sports team or a favorite hobby. And Carly's favorite hobby is gumbo, I guess. Cooking, nice. Anything creative, awesome. We got a Chiefs fan in the house. Alex likes sleeping, that's awesome. Hey, Victoria, welcome. So Victoria, we're typing into the chat function or to the chat message if you have a favorite sports team or like a favorite hobby, something you like to do. And we're gonna get started in about 4 minutes. So we're gonna start at 6:05 to give people a chance. Nice, coaching, traveling, ooh, lap swimming. That's awesome. All sorts of fun hobbies. Y'all are encouraging me to get out and do more things. Hey, Melissa, welcome. Miss Melissa, if you are willing to share, we are typing in the text a favorite hobby or a favorite sports team. Victor likes working on cars, which makes sense with what he wants to do with his degree. Drawing, reading, Green Bay Packers. Who is this girl? Kick her out of here. Just kidding, Victoria. We're glad you're here. And two-stepping, nice. All right. Miss Michaela, do you have a question? If you want, you can type it into the chat function and we can help you. Justin must like all the Chicago teams. The Bears, maybe even the Bulls. That's awesome. All right, about 3 minutes away. For those of you that have just, Justin is like the ultimate Chicago guy. That's awesome. Perfect. So those of you that have just joined us, if you want to put your major in something that you're excited about for this upcoming semester, that would be awesome. And in a couple minutes, at 6:05, so 3 minutes, we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you all for your patience while we wait just to see if there's any people that hop on in the next couple minutes. feel like we need some like Texas question. Like, let's see. Yeah. Julie's headed to nursing school. Awesome. All right, I'm going to come up with one final kind of Texas-y question in these next 2 minutes. Perfect. How about if you're a Texan, where are you born? And then if not, if you don't mind sharing. Yes. Julie said she got here as fast as she could. Nice. This is awesome. You guys are from all over. Yeah, Seth's holding it down for the Midwest. I'll put where I was born too. That's awesome. This is so fun. Very cool. Well, thank you all for sharing kind of where you're from. That's right. Mercedes is Midwest too, in Michigan. Very cool. Well, perfect. Well, I think we are getting close to that 6:05 mark. So first of all, I want to thank you all for being willing to kind of trust your beginning time at Concordia with Amanda and I. We were just chatting about how fun it's been to get to know this fall class, and like I said, you're one of the largest classes that Concordia has had, which is awesome to us. So we just wanted to thank you for letting us kind of walk you along the process. It's been a lot of fun, but also thank you for taking a chance. We know sometimes a lot of you are transfer students, so this is kind of a new, fresh start for you and very exciting and nerve-wracking sometimes, but I know just working here at Concordia has been a place that kind of puts the care and concern of the student kind of at the forefront. So I think hopefully you will see that in your time at Concordia. And definitely still reach out to us even when you're current students. You'll have your academic planner and your financial planner that you'll learn about a little bit later tonight, but definitely keep in touch with us and let us know how things are going because we want to see you all succeed. So at this point, I will hand off the presentation to my counterpart, Amanda, and she will kind of guide us through our orientation for this evening. A couple of things to note, we will record this and send out the recording. So if there's an email address that you wanted to get of your academic planner, or maybe something about using, the portal or different things, you will have access to that. So we will send out that recording before the weekend. So, all right, and with that, Amanda, take it away.
Okay, good evening, y'all. Can everybody hear me okay? I hope so. Awesome. Well, as Krista mentioned, we are super, super excited to have y'all getting started with us. Just a couple days away. It's a very exciting time, and we love to kind of hear all y'all's stories and talk with you guys about all the different stuff that's going on with life and everything. And we're just pumped for you to start this experience. So you will, like she said, you will have your academic planner, but feel free if you ever need anything. We both still have students that reach out to us. We love to keep in touch and know what's going on in y'all's lives. So awesome. Well, let's get started. So can we switch the slide? Okay. So as I just mentioned, we're super excited that y'all have made the decision to get started with us for this next part of your life and this next step in your career as well. That's an overhead shot of CTX, pretty incredible on the nature preserve. All right, so our core values, we are a Christ-centered institution. We absolutely pride ourselves on caring for people. In a lot of ways, we're definitely vocation focused, which is important too. We firmly believe in lifelong learning, and then of course, trust and courage are both super important to us as well. And we're grateful that y'all are putting your trust in us and making this courageous step to move forward with your academic career. So Krista and Carly, what are your favorite core values?
I will go first. Oops. Sorry about that. Maybe. Okay, so
You're
mine
good.
probably
We
would
can
be
hear
caring for people. So I think that's something that the institution does well. And I think when you're putting time and money and effort into a degree, I think it is important that you feel cared for in the process. So that one's my
you.
favorite.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I man, it's so hard because each one of these speaks to me, and so I feel like I'm cheating on the other one if I don't choose it. But
No, pick one, Carly, pick one.
I
No cheating.
know. So I think I'm gonna have to go with lifelong learning, just because it's something that is definitely important to me, just as a person in general. And I think that Concordia does a really good job of it instilling that desire in our students to continue learning, not only in the classroom but outside of it as well.
Absolutely. I actually, I think for me, one of the ones that really, really love is vocation because it's not just about finding a job after you graduate, but it's about finding something that you really feel called to do. And then, of course, like you were saying, Carly, I love a lot of them, or all of them for that matter. So, yeah, let's see here. Okay. Sorry, my pup is down here about to pull the computer off. Alrighty, so our vision statement, we are the premier university where the adventure of faith, learning, and life-changing experiences lead to meaningful work. And then in terms of student resources, these are all things that are readily available to you. So we do, like I was saying, really pride ourselves on vocation and professional development. Our student life is fantastic. It is available to you, even though you are technically an online student. That is okay. Anytime we're having an event, if you want to come to the library, whatever it may be, that is all available to y'all as well. So keep that in mind. You will meet with a student academic planner regularly. Carly is one of the student financial planners, and she's going to touch on a couple of things later. And then in the library. So don't hesitate to take all of your resources available to you because that is why we're here. And if you have questions or need anything, feel free to reach out to any of us, and we will direct you to the appropriate person. So. All right. Again, this just kind of touches on vocation and professional development and kind of the things that we do. Yes, and as Krista said, if for some reason you forget any of this, don't stress about taking notes or anything like that. We will send this out to you afterwards. So again, we focus on career advising, career changing, employee connections, job and internship search assistance, resume writing, and an internship program. So most of y'all will have pieces of this built into your degree plan as well. So it's definitely something that we are very, very happy to kind of be a part of and have as a part of our curriculum. So a little bit about student life. Student activities just fosters community through a wide range of co-curricular learning opportunities. So it basically gives you the chance to meet with other people, kind of find some new passions, things that you're excited about, all that kind of stuff. Also focus on leadership skills, and we really prioritize that for our students as well. All right, so these are the best ways to get in touch with our student life directly. You can see if you search on Facebook and IG, CTX Student Life, that'll pop up. Twitter, we're CTX Student Life. And then also you'll have access to something called Tornado Radar, and that is going to give you kind of the updates on everything that's going on in and around campus. And this is what your Tornado Radar page is going to look like. So if you access that, then you know you're in the right place because that is what you will see. And I am going to hand it over to Carly for a bit.
Yay! Hey guys, my name is Carly, and like Amanda said, I'm one of the financial planners that works in Student Central. So I'm going to go over a little bit about what Student Central is and the teams that are in it. And we're going to start off with the Student Academic Planning team. So the purpose of this team is for them to answer any questions that you may have about scheduling, registration, or your degree plans. Really, what they are is an expert on you and your major. And so the cool thing that is that we have academic planners that are divided amongst each degree. And so we will have an academic planner for business majors. We'll have academic planners for psychology majors. We'll have academic majors for planners for education majors. So you can be guaranteed that the person that you're working with is an expert in your degree plan and is there to help you navigate through and make sure that you're on the right path. And so anytime you have any questions about like whether or not you need to take this specific course, or like if you want to talk about your transfer credits and whether or not they work as well, then that's who you're going to work with. Uh-oh, do you not hear me? Mercedes, can you hear me? Okay,
I
all
think,
right.
Mercedes, I think we can hear her. So if you maybe want to log off and log back on, but like I said, it is recorded. So you will, whatever you miss, if you're out, then we can get back to you, okay?
Okay. So just going in a little bit, like I said, we have academic planners that are specific to each major. And so because the business and communication school is so large, we actually have 2 academic planners that work for y'all. If you have a last name that starts with A or L, you're going to be working with the wonderful Laura Arlt. And if you have last names starting with M through Z, then you will also be working with the fantastic Sarah Infante. Both of these ladies are really fantastic. And I'm not biased, maybe a little, but just because my actual population is also business. And so I work closely with these ladies a lot, and they are fantastic. Also, when it comes to our computer science and multidisciplinary majors, the fantastic Mr. Cody Londenberg is going to be working with y'all. As for the criminal justice and psychology majors, the amazing Victoria Thibodeau is going to be working with y'all as well. And I think, Tori, are you on? Yay! So Tori is here. So virtually wave, and and they're also too. Tori is a Concordia alumni, so she also has a fighting heart for Concordia as well. So it's really cool. We have a lot of really great people on this team that are here to not only help you get to your academic goals, but also to your personal goals for whenever you graduate. And then finally, we have our pre-nursing majors, and you will be working with the wonderful Anne Marie Shaver. They're pretty great as well. So again, like I said, because I'm a financial planner, I don't actually work with this platform a lot. This is your degree works. And so I'm actually going to hand it off one more time to Amanda, because she is more of an expert in this field, and I want to make sure y'all get the right information.
All right. So DegreeWorks is the most magical tool. It's absolutely one of my favorite things to use. And essentially what happens is that as soon as you apply and are accepted and get transcribed, all of your courses, everything that you've taken is going to be accessible here. And then it will also show you everything that you have left to take, what you are currently enrolled in, registered for, that sort of thing. So it's a really, really awesome resource for anything. If you ever have questions and you're worried that you're not going to be able to talk to an academic planner or something like that, you can always jump on there and look at your progress and kind of see where you're at. You can also, my absolute favorite thing about it is that you can check when the classes are available. So if you're going to be enrolled in, say, an intro to business class, or you're trying to find an intro to business class, all you have to do is click on the little link and it'll show you every single time that intro to business class is available for the foreseeable future. So it is an absolutely incredible tool that I love. So hopefully y'all will learn to love it and use it. And again, like it says there, it says, you see your degree and major, courses on your degree plan, what you've completed, what you have in progress, and still have left to complete. And it'll also share with you your GPA and all that good stuff as well. So definitely make sure you're using it regularly.
Doesn't it also have like, isn't that where you can go to do a GPA calculation tool as well?
I believe so, yes. I don't have access to that on my end, but I believe the students do.
Fantastic. Yep, Tori
Yeah.
confirmed.
Awesome.
We got our expert in. So yeah. So thanks so much, Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Amanda said, that's a really, really awesome tool in your tool belt here at Concordia. So definitely play with it, learn from it. If you have any questions, that's what your academic planner is there for as well. So I'm sure that our academic planners would actually love for you to ask them questions about how to navigate through DegreeWorks, just because they love instilling you with knowledge. And so yeah, so it's a really great place to start playing with for sure. Okay, so these are my fun slides. We have a team of 5 financial planners that are here to assist you with basically any and all financial aid questions that you can think of under the sun. So if you have any questions regarding your FAFSA, all the way from beginning to filling it out and having questions about how to complete it versus, like what happens now that we've gotten it and it's been processed. So if you have any questions about that, we are the team that you want to call. We are also the team that you want to call if you have any questions or concerns about the aid that you have been given or haven't been given. And then also on our team, we have student certifying officers who work with VA benefits and enrollment certification. I'm actually one of them. So if you are using VA educational benefits and you have questions or would like to know more about it, you can definitely reach out to Student Central and we would be happy to help. We are a team that likes to kind of work hand in hand with the academic planners as well. So like I said before, I work closely with the business majors, but that does not mean that you can't come to me if you are not a business major. I will not turn you away. So we are definitely a walk-in type of office, but we also do take appointments. So anytime you have a question, just reach out to Student Central and we would be happy to connect with you with any questions that you might have. Okay, so Concordia offers a program that's actually really, really cool. It's called the Tornado Textbook Program. And so the way that this program works is that for all of the courses that have required books and materials, so that includes, like access codes to Think Well and Connect, they will provide all of those required materials and books for rental at $25 per credit hour. And so what this means is that if you are taking 9 credit hours, for instance, you're going to be charged, it should be $225, not $255, but it's okay. So that's pretty cool. And again, you only pay for the things that are required. So say, for instance, you were enrolled in 12 credit hours, but only 9 of those credit hours require books. You would only pay for those 9 credit hours. This program is actually really neat because a lot of our students will save on an average of about 35% per year when it comes to the cost of books and materials. And then it also saves you on things like not, like on taxes and sales tax and things like that. If you have any questions about this program, feel free to reach out to Student Central. This program is something that you're automatically opted into. And so if you have any issues or any concerns or anything like that, again, feel free to reach out to Student Central. Okay, so this is really important, so get out your pencils. During the first week of class, when it comes to tuition refunds, if you decide that you want to drop a course, then you will get 100% a refund on that, which means that, so say for instance, you decide next week before Friday that you don't want to attend the first session, or, you know, like something comes up, life happens, we definitely understand. You have until Friday, the first week of class, to drop and receive 100% tuition refund. After the first week, though, there is a 0% refund. So you must, after that point, you have to contact your student academic planner in order to withdraw. Any point after the first week of class, it's actually not considered a drop anymore. It is considered to be a withdrawal. Please know, though, that if you do drop a course but still continue throughout in another course, that your financial aid might have to be revised. So anytime that you plan on making a schedule change in which it drops you from, like, say 12 credit hours to 9 credit hours or anything like that, I would definitely encourage you to reach out to me or another member of my team, just so that we can go over the financial repercussions with you and make sure that you're prepared for any type of changes that might happen. And for this specific, oh, go
Hey,
ahead.
Carly, can I add one thing? So just as a reminder, online students are considered full-time at 6 credit hours. That's kind of that secret, that's that magic number. So let's say you're in 6 credits, but you drop for the first part of the term, then you need to make sure you pick up an additional course for the second part of the term to be in that 6 credits. So usually it's 2 classes, but 6 is the magic number.
Perfect. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, that's also the magic number for financial aid as well, regardless as to whether or not you're online or on ground. You need to be in at least 6 credit hours in order to be eligible for federal aid. So thanks for pointing that out, Krista, because that's very important. So when it comes to tuition refunds or dropping, the last day to drop for session 1 for this upcoming session is Friday, September 3rd. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your counselor. Okay, so we like to send out tuition statements to our students twice a month to your CTX email. So please make sure that you have access to it, because that's where we send all of the information, especially from Student Central. That's how we communicate the most with our students. We do this twice a month because we know that things can change in between the first of the month and the last of the month, right? And so we want to make sure that we're keeping you updated on your student account as much as possible. So within these next few slides, I'm actually going to show you what a tuition statement looks like, and I'm going to break down each part for you, just so that you're aware whenever you're looking at it on your own, you know the key points to look at and the information that you're trying to see, because you know, we definitely don't want to hide anything from you. So
this disclaimer really quickly, this is not a tuition statement for adult degree program students. So
yes,
do not
the number
panic
that you are seeing is for on-ground traditional students. So please do not freak out by the tuition amounts on here. So this is what the full tuition statement itself is going to look like. Again, you're going to be receiving this to your CTX email twice a month. And so when you open it, this is what you'll see. At the top, you're going to see the tuition, the semester that this tuition statement is actually for. So for this one, this is for the fall of 2020. And then on the far right, what you're going to see is your name, as well as your student ID number. And then also it's going to show the actual date that the tuition statement was issued. On the body of the actual tuition statement, on the left-hand side, is whenever you're going to see your charges and your adjustments. So this is the part that you're going to want to look at whenever you're trying to see what your direct charges are, as far as your tuition, any general service fees that you might have. The Tornado textbook program fee is also going to show up on here. If you were to have an on-campus meal plan, that's where it would go as well. And then any other costs associated that are directly charged to you as a student will go here. On the right-hand side are going to be payments. So if you ever made any payments out of pocket towards your student account, you would see them listed here. You will also see your financial aid payments, so your federal loans or your federal Pell Grants or any other educational benefits that are applied from the school. They will be on this right-hand side. And then finally, at the bottom, On the left-hand side, we try to put important messages on there for you. So you're going to see messages about deadlines, whether it's going to be about the textbook opt-out deadline or when tuition is due. Just little messages that we try to update as we send out the tuition statement. So whenever you get these, I would definitely encourage you to just glance over it, make sure that you haven't missed a deadline, or if you see a deadline that you missed and you have questions, you know, you have something to ask a question about, you know, like definitely direct it to Student Central. On the right-hand side is where the fun stuff happens, because this is actually where we show our math. So the top part is going to be a balance from a prior term. Say, for instance, you came here in the summer before the fall started. If for some reason you had a remaining balance in the summer term, it would show up at the top right there. Your total charges and adjustments, that is for this current term. It's always going to be for this current term. So that number should match this one right here, always. And then total payments, again, those are going to be the total payments for the current term that the tuition statement is talking about. So it should match this right-hand side. And then finally, what you'll see is the total balance, which is including not only this current term, but also the balance from the prior term altogether. And then the balance due will be down here. Now, before the semester starts, you're going to see the please remit by date to be the actual due date. Now that the tuition due date has passed, anytime that you see a tuition statement come to you, the remit date is going to be the day that the tuition statement itself was created. And so if you have any questions about a balance or a due date or making a payment or anything like that, again, please reach out to me or my team. We are more than happy to walk through all of this information with you and come up with a plan of payment or any other questions that you may have.
And let me add one thing, and I think Carly will touch on it in a minute. If you haven't completed your entrance counseling and your MPN, then your loans have not memoed yet. So that bill is going to look different than what we talked about it would be. So once those are completed, then the aid will memo, and then that will make your balance go down. So just FYI.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that goes with other aid as well. If for some reason you haven't accepted your aid yet, or if you haven't accepted the terms and conditions, you're not going to see a memo towards your student account until that has happened. So thanks for pointing that out, Krista. This actually like segues into this other slide, which is finalizing your financial aid. So please make sure that if you have not done so already, that you have completed the 21-22 FAFSA. Even if you don't think that you're going to be eligible for any sort of federal aid, I definitely encourage that you still do it, especially during these times of COVID and uncertainty. You never know what you're going to need or what type of resources are going to be out there for you. Because we're a private school, a lot of our need-based aid and relief aid, if we get any from the government, is largely based off of the FAFSA. And so I've just been encouraging my students to complete it regardless as to whether or not they think they're going to use any aid, just because you never know what type of resources are going to be out there. The other thing is, if you're not using the FAFSA, but if you're a TAFSA student, then definitely complete that as well. It's important to know that you can go and do the FAFSA during your enrollment at any point in time, but we definitely encourage it now, right? The sooner the better, because we want to make sure that you are finalizing your financial aid, that you're financially clear, and you're not focusing on finances as much as you are focusing on school, right? Because that's the purpose of being here. So we want to make sure that that type of stress is out of sight, out of mind, and is taken care of. So the earlier you get your FAFSA in, the earlier you figure this out, then the better you will be able to focus on school and coming back and meeting all of those fantastic goals and exciting things that we talked about earlier in the chat. Okay, and so just going back off of finalizing financial aid, if for some reason you have been chosen for verification, which sidebar, that is not a bad thing. Some people are just chosen at random. Then you need to make sure that you've completed all verification documents as soon as possible, just because we cannot continue with processing your aid until those verification documents have been met and processed. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you've turned in verification documents and you want to know the status, feel free to reach out to your counselor or reach out to Student Central. We are happy to look into that for you. But just know that a good place to figure out where, you know, if you have any missing documents when it comes to your financial aid, you can find that information out on My Info as well.
Yeah, and I know I have some students who sent some things over to me today. So typically there's like about a 24-hour window for that to get processed. So if you send it to me today,
Yeah,
don't reach out just yet. Give me 24 hours.
for sure. Yeah. And I will say this is that, you know, like with the first week of school coming to light, our processors are pretty awesome and fast, but sometimes whenever the big things come around too, we ask just for a little bit of grace period. So it might not be 24 hours as well before you see that nice little S for satisfied. But we can definitely clarify and make sure that things are in processing for you. And just give you peace of mind to know that we've got everything and we're just waiting. So, okay, all right, these are fun things. So as far as doing your subsidized and unsubsidized loans, please make sure that you have completed your master promissory note as well as your entrance counseling. These are two required documents that need to happen first before we are able to disperse any aid. And so if you need to do that, the place to go is www.studentaid.gov. And that's where you will complete both of them. You'll need to make sure that you log in with your FSA ID and password. And then you can go from there. If you can't remember your FSA ID and password because it's been a hot minute since you've completed your FAFSA, don't worry. The FAFSA website actually has a really great customer service hotline. You will talk to a real person and they'll help you walk through it and recovering your password and FAFSA ID if needed. And so they're actually pretty great when it comes to customer service if you need it. And again, like I said, the entrance counseling itself is going to be more of an interactive informational type of document. It's going to go through everything that it means to borrow. It's going to talk about things from actual like debt and the I'm losing my words here, but it's going to talk about interest. It's going to talk a little bit about repayment and just things to consider whenever you're borrowing. It's going to ask you some questions. It's kind of going to be like an open-ended quiz as well, so that you can like check your knowledge and things like that. And so this is really just the federal government's way of making sure that you understand what you're signing off on whenever you sign that MPN or that master promissory note saying, I agree to these terms. So again, these are the two documents that are required to borrow your unsubsidized or subsidized loans. And once we get those in, we can start processing your loan funds for you. Okay, so as far as out-of-pocket payments and payment plans go, you're going to find both of these options into your My Info portal. So again, the same place where you find your degree works is going to be the place where you're going to find the option to make a payment online. And so if you have any questions about how to find it, then you can definitely reach out to your counselor or to Student Central, but you're going to find the link to it and you have the option to making a payment or setting up a payment plan either with a bank account or with a credit card or debit card. Whenever you log in, we use a third-party billing servicer called Nelnet, and so this is the portal that you will see. On the left, you'll see your actual balance and the option to make a payment or to set up a payment plan, and then to the right is going to be more of your information.
And then I'm going to interrupt really quick here. Make sure if you are setting up a payment plan and doing loans as well too and grants, do the loans and the grant pieces, complete those first, because otherwise your payment plan will not reflect those and your payment will be much higher than you want it to be. So just make sure you do the loan pieces first.
Yes, that's a good point. Absolutely. Again, this is just another part of the portal that's just giving you the option to enter an amount and make an on-ground payment. And then again, like I said, you'll also have the option to set up monthly payment plans. We offer them per semester. And so if you ever wanted to take your entire balance that you owe and divide it by amongst the largest one we have is 6 months. Right now, the largest one available is 4 months. That'll start in September and end in December. You can do that through this Nelnet portal as well. And one thing I will say just about Nelnet in general is that if you're using it to make an online payment or a payment plan, I highly encourage you to do so with a routing or account number versus a debit or credit card, just because with a routing and account number, you will not incur any processing fees, versus with a debit and credit card, you will have about a 2.8% processing fee for each payment that you make. So that's something to consider whenever you're making online payments or setting up payment plans. Again, I know that was a lot of information to cover in one sitting, so if y'all have any questions, put them in the chat, and I'd be happy to answer there too.
Awesome. Thank you, Carly. All right, guys. So that building has been newly renovated, so there's a lot of really great stuff that's happening there. And they're also going to have space for y'all to rent rooms to study, things like that. So feel free, like I said earlier, to take advantage of those resources. They're available to y'all even as online students, and are, you know, if when you're putting in the work like that, you will receive it tenfold. So I strongly encourage that. So this is the library staff, Mikhail, and then Marcus and Agatha. So that's who you're going to see in there. And they are all wonderful resources for y'all as well. So just a little bit of extra information. We've got over 180,000 ebooks. There are online reference tools available. I know that I've had several students reach out to me and ask me about the likelihood that, you know, can I come in and do research at the library? Can I come in and use my, sorry, Krista, is my sound going out? Okay.
It was a tiny bit, but yeah, I just kind of summarized that essentially the library is available to on ground or online. So
Yes.
you are a student at Concordia, so you get to use the resources available to Concordia
Yes.
students. So
absolutely, absolutely. And then again, this just shows you what's available to our students. So we do have over 50,000 in-house print and media sources available too.
also, one thing to add quickly is sometimes you may just be looking for a quiet place to study, and there are rooms that you can sit and have that quiet place. So our campus is a beautiful one. So just because you're an online student doesn't mean that you don't get to come hang out on our beautiful campus. So feel free to check it out.
Yes. Yes, and like I said, they are available to rent specifically in the library too. So it's a great resource. This is just contact options for the library. Again, all of this will be sent to you, so you'll have access to it. In regards to academic accommodations, that is anything of that sort is going to go through Ruth Cooper. She is our director, and you can actually, when you get this PowerPoint, you'll be able to click on that link and set up a registration form and all that, and then she will touch base with you to help set up any accommodations that you might need. So again, if that's something that you do need, then by all means, definitely reach out to Ruth and have her get you set up. Our IT department it's called the Personal Support Center. I know several of you have had to contact them because you're returning students, things like that. Forgot passwords. They are available 24/7, 365. And the phone number is just 512-313-HELP. And HELP is 4357. So save that number in your phone. Reach out to them if you have any concerns, any questions. They are wonderful people and will help get you taken care of immediately. So the CTX email is the only email that we have the ability to communicate with you with. So for instance, if for some reason we've got your Concordia email, because when it's sent via Concordia, we can take that as a surefire, like, yes, this is what I want to do. If you send it from your personal email, we are not able to regard it in that way. So just keep that in mind. If you have something urgent or important, please, please, please send from your CTX email. That email address, most of you should know, is just first name dot last name at ctx.edu. And you were sent a password when you were accepted, and they created your email address, and you should be able to go in and reset it. If you're having any issues at all with that, go through the support center. Alrighty, so this just shows you how to access your CTX email. And you are going to do that by going to the CTX homepage. You'll have access to Blackboard there, to your My Info. All the important quick links are right there in that drop-down box called Quick Link. And then My Info, when you log into My Info, you will select Enter My Info Secure Area. It's going to ask you for your specific information. And then just so you're aware of what My Info is used for, it's used for classes, for your grades, for any account information, for financial aid, and for your degree works access. So that's important to keep in mind too. Your My Info is kind of your golden portal to access everything that's important for you.
So like your golden ticket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So in regards to academic integrity, students are expected to practice academic and electronic honesty at all times, and you do need to comply with all copyright laws. So please, please, please be cognizant of that sort of thing. You're always welcome to check with the library, the writing center, any of those options, and then the tutoring services as well, so that you can A, ensure you're citing your sources properly, and B, ensure that there is zero plagiarism in your work. Because if for some reason you plagiarize, that is not going to fly, to put it easily, or the nice way, I guess.
Let me add something here too, especially when you're an online student. Remember, you're like typing in text and submitting it. So it's very easy for a professor to copy and paste that text and to put it in a website to see if it is copyrighted. So don't even try.
Absolutely. And to touch on this a little bit, but just a separate caveat, I know that being an online student, it comes with different challenges than someone that's an on-campus student. So don't be afraid to reach out to your professors. Do not be afraid to contact them and set up times to touch base with them. It's really, really important that you take that initiative for yourself, because when they see that you're putting in that work and that care and that concern, they're going to realize, that you're genuine about what you're doing. So definitely make that time for yourself, make that time to touch base with your professors. Then if for any reason you do have an issue or a family situation arises, they will work with you because they know that you are intentional, and that's really important. Like Krista just said, caring for others is a core value for us. So never be afraid to touch base with your professors.
And ideally do it proactively versus reactively. So get them a heads up before an assignment's due, not after you missed an assignment due date. So they prefer that.
Absolutely. Yes. So in regards to attendance, to remain enrolled, you have to log in and participate in each class by the end of the first week. So classes start this coming Monday, the 30th. If you haven't logged in by Sunday evening at midnight, they will auto withdraw you from the course. So please make sure, and Krista and I will send y'all reminders too, but please make sure that you log in at least once during that first week, because you don't want to miss out on anything. You don't want to miss out on assignments. And so if for some reason something arises, just please keep us in the loop. Let us know, but you definitely need to make sure that you are logging in at least once, okay?
And one quick thing
And
to add,
then,
sometimes there are
yes,
assignments that could be due like by Wednesday. So if you log in
yeah,
by Sunday, then that means you may have already missed an assignment. So just on that Monday, log in doesn't need to be at 8 a.m., but just by end of day on Monday, and then you'll be all set.
yeah, yeah. Oftentimes you will have assignments that are due on Wednesday. So it's super important to be aware of that. Alrighty. So preparing for class, you will have access to your courses in Blackboard. Tasha, do you have a question?
If you want, you can go ahead and if you want to type it into the chat, then we can answer for you, Tasha. Maybe you can go ahead and then I can moderate the question.
Okay. Yes, for right now, that's what I'm referencing. Oh, and yes, when you log into Blackboard, that's what they count for logging into class. Yes. Krista, can you take that for me?
Sure, yeah. So once you're logged in, or sorry, I can type it in the chat function if
Yeah,
maybe
I
you
meant,
wanna. Yep, go ahead.
sorry,
Yep,
I meant
sorry.
in the chat. Okay, so you'll have access to your classes 3 days prior to the start of session. Classes begin on Monday, so you should have access to them this Friday afternoon. It's also really important to check out the syllabus before your class starts. Make sure that you have received your books. If for some reason you haven't, reach out to either Krista or myself. We'll get that squared away for you. And then you're obviously going to just log into Blackboard and make sure that all your software is up to date and that your password and all that is good to go. But there's definitely a couple of things that you can do to prep and make sure you're all set to go for Monday. And it's these things right here. All right, so as you can see on that, on our main homepage, there's a quick links drop down. That BB Learn, that is where you go for Blackboard. So just jump on there, go to the quick links tab, and then drop down to the BB Learn, and that will take you to Blackboard. And that is where you need to log in so that they're aware that you are participating in class. Thank you for that question, Tasha. Blackboard is going to look like this. Once you click that link, it'll say click here to log in. In fact, it probably looked like that this evening when you went to log in here for this. So you'll see a page that's very similar. And then there is going to be like a technical tools training for you. And all that's going to do is kind of just give you the rundown on how Blackboard works. Some of y'all may have had experience with it before, either with us or at another university. So if you're pretty familiar with Blackboard, that's awesome. But for those of you that aren't, there are options for to kind of get acquainted with it, and it's that technical tools training. There's also going to be a little rundown on how to thrive in a virtual environment. That's a really great resource for you as well. So definitely take some time to read through that and kind of walk through it all. All right, so really quick recap. You will have access to your courses on Friday, August 27th. You access Blackboard with your CTX email, again, first name dot last name at ctx.edu. Make sure to review your syllabus. The textbooks are sent out a week before the courses begin, so you should have them. Courses start Monday, August 30th. Now, if you are a late register, it's possible that your books are either on their way to you or they haven't been sent out yet. So don't stress about that. Again, just let Krista or I know, and we'll get that squared away for you. Okay. Should you have a want to drop, you are going to have to do that by Friday, September 3rd. So by next Friday, you will have to have dropped if that's something that you want to do. And then make sure to verify anything with financial aid and set up your payment plan. Okay. And that is it for us. For those of you who are interested in potentially having parking passes to come to campus and ID cards, Krista just put that link in the chat box. That's Dr. Christian in the photo at the top. He's the president of our university. And yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat box. And Krista and I will do our best to answer them for you, or Carly as well.
And know too, sometimes you can get some free stuff or reduced rate if you have a college ID. So even if you may never step onto campus, might be a good idea to get an ID sent to you because you can get some deals on some stuff. So awesome. And thanks everyone for joining this evening. Like Amanda said, we'll stay on if there's questions or if you'd like to contact us one-on-one via email. We can follow up with you all tomorrow as well too. Thank you guys.
Yep. Thank y'all so much. Mercedes, are you still on here?
I sent her a text message. She was able to get back on in here, so for a bit.
Okay, I just was gonna ask her a silly question. That's all.
Is it about pistachio ice cream?
No, she said she was from Michigan, so I wanted to know where. Nice.
Thank you guys. Thanks for attending.
Thanks, y'all. Happy Friday Eve.
On the Fridays to Fridays, it feels like.